Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Logical Heroes. I'm Mitch, aka Rollbacchus.
I'm Trevor.
And today we got our discussion number 8, and by the title, you guys can see what we're going to be discussing today. There hasn't been a lot of news out this week, sadly, but there was one big thing, really, in essence, and that was the drop of all the lineups. I think it was 2 years they dropped, 3 years of DC. All the
10 years.
10? Okay. No, but it wasn't 10 years. They said they're going to do 10 years. They're going to figure it out, but they haven't dropped all the shows and movies for 10 years.
No.
Right? No. So James Gunn did a little speech and stuff like that. We're going to go over all the stuff. Trevor is a bigger DC fan than I am, so he might know actually a little more than I do. And I'd like to get his opinion on everything that he thinks. And we've actually kind of discussed it a little bit. And I think we have not differing opinions, but a few little tweaks here and there I think we disagree on. So we'll go over that stuff as well. But before we get started, if you want to drop a like, subscribe down below, we greatly appreciate it. Bringing the discussions once a week on Saturdays. But you get it on Patreon as well, though, on Fridays. So we also got Discord, Twitter, Instagram, and the links down below. And you get the content a couple days earlier than you would on YouTube if you support us on Patreon. Anyways. Oh, and also, you get an extra 30 minutes if you sign up with us. So
yeah, you do.
Yeah, you get extra 30 minutes of our discussion. So obviously, we found out that we're getting 5 TV shows, and we're going to be getting 5 movies. We'll start off with the not the heavy hitters. Or do you want to do one heavy hitter? What do you want to start off with? Do you want to go into something that we know or we don't know?
I'm fine with whatever.
Because I want to... The one thing I like about James Gunn is that he's able to do... it's the number one thing.
Do you know much about Booster Gold?
No idea. So that's what...
Oh, he's awesome.
See, this is what I mean. There's stuff that I'm not going to know that I want you to be able to explain and stuff like that. So throw out what you kind of know about him so far. He's
just this like cocky dude, but he's from the future. Okay, like he's a future guy, and he's got all this like equipment and stuff. I don't even think he actually has abilities. It's just like the stuff he has.
Yeah.
And he goes back in time, and then he becomes a hero by using the stuff he knows.
Well, so he goes to he's in the future. Then goes back in the past, and he's now a hero.
Yeah, he takes like his future stuff. He goes in the back and just like in the past and lives there and becomes a hero.
Is he a goof?
Yeah, he's a goofball, but he's lovable. You know, he's a like a cocky guy, and you feel it, and you're like, oh, he just cares about himself. But then when it comes down to it, he normally does like become a hero. So it's just it's an odd guy because he did it more for fame, and then I think he like slowly becomes like
he's in the Justice League.
He becomes a legit hero. But like he starts off, people don't like take him seriously.
Yeah. And it's like I'm looking here, like he
was in Smallville, the show Smallville.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes he was.
Yeah. And he's been in like a few things. Yeah. And so they could make this really good.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm kind of excited for this one.
And the one name that it comes out, because obviously I don't know pretty much anything about this character, but the first thing I see is on this the DC.com. It's like Blue Beetle. Which also has already been confirmed. Too. So like he partners up with Blue Beetle in some stories apparently. Like I'm guessing that would be something that they could be looking down the line. Obviously Blue Beetle is.
Well, that'd be a really interesting one because Blue Beetle is also more of a teenager.
Yeah.
But it's got like he's got that beetle on his back and it's kind of got a mind of its own and stuff. So he kind of talks to it sometimes and has struggles. So and Booster Gold's like a funny character. So they would like have really interesting interactions, especially with James Gunn.
That I was just about to say that. So this is a character that I think James Gunn could do well with. I still want to see. I think we spoke about this before when he started announcing stuff. I still need to see, and I know
serious type.
Yes, I haven't seen that serious type of hero that he's done so far, like Guardians of the Galaxies. Yes, Peacemaker. It's all like a comedy intertwined. There is serious parts,
but then there's moments where you're like, wow, how is he making me cry off that? We're seeing like him fight bugs. Like it was like the craziest shit. Yeah.
So it's like they also they didn't cancel Peacemaker.
No, I think because that's in the universe. I don't think that's the other worlds. You know how they're doing like the Batman and the Joker. It's like other worlds. I think that's technically connected because they used Waller. And they're going to make a Waller TV show, and they're going to use the same actress. So that's in the same universe. and that's what they're trying to do is make every show and everything like all one thing.
Yeah.
So
Are they? So we'll get into Waller now then, because we brought it up. Do you know what that's all about, or
apparently involves like some of the Peacemaker team that we've already seen.
through the TV show?
Yeah, like the characters we've already seen. Like
Yeah.
apparently it's like some of those characters with Waller, and I'm not. That's all I really know.
Her character is great. Don't I hate her, but like her character is great to hate. You know what I mean? She does a
To be
really
fair, they haven't like spent too much time with her. She's just always that like, you know, where you have like an annoying boss that will just check in once in a while and yell some stuff and then walk away and then does
annoying
nothing.
boss Waller. Okay, like
But,
there's
but
a
Waller's
difference.
like, if you ever watched the Justice League animated show, she was like huge in it and like
Really?
constantly, yeah, she was huge in it constantly, and you would see her out in battles with guns and like and just and talking shit with Batman and Superman, and she was like going against the Justice League at one
Yeah.
point. So it would be cool to see her actually doing things. They just see her doing like say bad things once in a while.
Yeah.
But it would be cool to see her like get her hands dirty and be like, she's a monster, but she's honestly what America needs, you know,
Okay.
not hero wise.
Yeah, yeah.
So it could be interesting mixed with like the Peacemaker characters, but I don't think it should be that much humor because she's like stone cold serious and
Yeah.
like I don't know, it takes away like when they smacked her in the head in Peacemaker and knocked her out, that was like, wow, you just took so much away from Amanda. Amanda Waller is that person you're terrified of. Like
Yes.
superheroes are scared of her. So the fact that her own like employees did that, I hope that they make her tough again and show that she's a badass.
So since we're here talking about Peacemaker and stuff like that, and that it wasn't, or we don't know that it's being canceled, pardon me. I am kind of pissed off about the whole Flash, Shazam, and Aquaman thing. Not a fan.
What, that we still have to watch all that?
Well, they're not canceled. They're not done. There has been no, like, this is the thing. You took away Henry Cavill as Superman, and there's both sides that think, why the hell did you do that? And then the other side says, it makes sense if you're going to reboot it. Why is Ezra Miller even getting his own movie after all the shit that happened? That pisses me right off.
That's what's crazy. Like, and I get it. You guys are saying that's what restarts the DC universe, and also that it's also like apparently a really good movie. That's what they're saying.
Yes.
But like,
Which
I
is
also
bullshit.
think like with the crap he's done
Mhm.
and how you just canceled a bunch of, which I understand you're trying to start over. You guys should have just scrapped that, and a simple like, hey guys, we're restarting the universe would have been fine. I don't think I really need a movie. Like, I'm already tired and my brain's already like, this universe is done.
Yes.
And now we have to literally see it get destroyed again in our faces. Even if it's a good movie, I'm just over it, you know? I'd rather just you guys tell us, yeah, let's restart, and they restart. But I don't know, whatever money-wise and whoever's in there, I don't know, whatever, I don't know.
It's just
what's going
amazing to
on.
me how easy it is to get canceled nowadays, and somehow all the stuff, like if you go through all the things that he did in the last couple of years, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's legit evidence, and he's been arrested
Yes.
over and over. Where other people, it's just like, oh, there's a rumor going around out for one day, and then everyone just drops you and cancels you. It's like, hey, can we see if this guy's actually innocent first? But no, Ezra's like, he's a criminal. You know what I mean?
What's the date? What's the date for Aquaman and Shazam, Aquaman, and because Shazam's coming out soon.
They're just a hard watch, because how do you care at this point?
No, that's what I mean. Don't get me wrong. I honestly was like
Shazam could
watching
be, like,
Shazam. I was like,
watch,
I could
yeah.
like this more than Marvel. Like, this is actually like.
But I'm not gonna jump to the theaters and like rush. I'd probably wait until it comes out and then I'd watch it.
No,
at
I'm not a
home.
rush either.
I literally just watched Wakanda Forever. Not the biggest fan, by the way. It was alright. Had some cool moments.
So this is what I want to know. So Aquaman Lost Kingdom release. Okay, December 25th.
So confused though, cause you know how I was saying that there what's the guy who plays Aquaman, that he was gonna play this other character Lobo in DC. Remember I was telling you
Yeah,
that?
the guy on the motorcycle. Yeah.
Yeah, well, James Gunn apparently said that he's only going to be playing one character in the DC, and if he's playing Aquaman, and they're still doing the movie, does that mean he's continuing with Aquaman, or is after this Aquaman he's done, and then he switches over to a new
Well, this is
character.
where I get confused because he's like, "Oh, Flash is the reset of the DC universe," and it's like, "Well, wait a minute. If he
So
resets
Aquaman's
it,
after Flash?
this is what I don't
What the
understand."
what the hell? I don't get that. I
Right?
don't.
So it's
Yeah, I
like he
don't get
reset
that.
it, but Aquaman's movie comes out in December. So it's like, does that mean Aquaman is now just a part of what's good? Because
Maybe they're gonna
Shazam.
say,
Go ahead.
you
Go
know what
ahead.
they're gonna do? They're gonna say like, oh, it came after, but like this takes place
Oh
before
my god.
Flashpoint. That's what they're gonna do. But then it's like that's like you show me a Black Widow movie
Mhm.
after she's already dead and years like
Yeah.
the hype gone. Like whatever, bro.
It's ridiculous. And to me, it's like you toss Black Adam, which I understand through the ratings and the money that it brought, but it's like, why are we
Dude, The
keeping
Rock's
Shazam?
pissed.
Yeah, of course I'd be pissed too if like Shazam's keeping his
I-
movies.
Well, do you see how much he like voiced and talked about DC? Like it was.
I
His
was at
life
a
for
Leaf
years.
game and he was there in Toronto promoting his movie. Like, it made no
Yeah.
sense.
That's wild. I
Right?
feel so like it was so like cringe
Yeah, he
when
wanted it
everything
so
came
bad.
out. Yeah.
I think he thought he was going to take over the DC universe. I think he thought he was going to be like the main face of it, and it just didn't come to fruition, right?
I think it just had like it felt like an older movie. If that came out back in like 2006, I think it would have been like the coolest thing ever. Everyone would have
I can
loved
see
it.
it.
But now we need more character. We need more growth. We need like actually good stuff because we've
Yeah.
seen so much. So
All right, let's move on from the disaster that once was, and we'll move on to the next one. We'll do one more kind of low tier, which is the Paradise Lost, which takes place. I'm guessing it's the world or place where Wonder Woman is from. It's a TV show, I want to say. What do you have to say on that? Because like now they have to figure out an actor for Wonder Woman. We don't even know if Wonder Woman is in this series. It doesn't say that Wonder Woman's in it. It's just about where she's from.
can I be honest?
Don't give a shit.
Not interested. It's not like Green Lantern Corps where it's like really interesting. It's just okay.
Yeah.
It's all women, and they work out all the time, and they're smart. So it's just gonna like imagine you know how She-Hulk and other shows were just like shove in your face, men stupid, men dumb, woman the best.
You think that's
Imagine
gonna happen?
that. I feel well. I don't think they're gonna be on purpose, but like that's the concept of like
I know
of
what you
them.
mean.
They're perfect woman. So like if it's just that,
But to be
what's the
fair,
conflict? It's just I don't know. I guess some cool backstory would be, but I feel like a whole show. What are you gonna do?
no, I get that.
I don't
But to
know.
be fair, like I agree with you because the problem is now is they just shit on everything, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
But before, I actually thought Wonder Woman was good. Like the first movie was good. I
No, the
hated
first one was.
the second one was crap. But like the first one, I thought it was good. Obviously, you're gonna have that whole tangle thing where it's gonna be like they talk about men in a certain way, which is understandable.
But it wasn't hateful in the first one.
That's the difference. Now it's like it's on another level that just comes off as like off-putting, where it's like you're not. Like, it becomes a thing of not the story, but about how men suck. That's basically what the
I
story's
hate
turned
that
into.
because I like when they call out the crap that men do.
Yeah, of course.
But then also call out the crap you do. But then also let's praise each other
And
in the
great story,
in between, and that's
great
what makes you
writing,
connect.
yes.
When it's always just one sided, like this race sucks, this
No, I
person
know.
sucks. That's the vibe you start to get, and you're like, oh my god. But then when you start to see the different sides, you connect more with it. That's how I feel.
100%.
That's how like most things should be.
And I have a funny feeling it could, because you have to understand there are other people working. It's not James Gunn's unit. There are other people that are at the same tier that are going to be doing the same amount of work as him, right? He's not the only one in this that's making all the decisions.
Like
So-
and Wonder Woman's background is cool because it's with gods and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but they never really go deep into it. So maybe they're like really gonna dive into that, and they could really show some interesting things. But if it's just like, you know, filler stuff,
Yeah.
like once in a while, and then they mention Wonder Woman and Easter, it's just like, I don't know. You gotta actually do something with the show for it to be entertaining.
So let's move on from this one again. The next one I really want to talk about is Green Lantern. I'm-
That's probably the most hype one I am. Like that's crazy. Like it's a show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's like HBO also. That's what I'm pretty sure. And they never really dived into that besides like the movie, but to
Mhm.
actually have like a show on that, that'd be amazing.
This is what I mean. Like, because what they were showing, like when James Gunn was on the screen, he said that there's 2 Green Lanterns that they're going to be doing.
Oh, really?
There's 2. So let me see if I can pull it up quickly. Keep talking about. I'm so glad I don't have this. Like, on the
Either
screen
Hal
right now.
Jordan, but he's been done.
Yeah.
That's the white version. And then there's something Stewart.
Hey everybody, I'm James.
So let's pray to God that we don't get caught for copyright during this.
There's also a Green Lantern that's a
It's the story
ginger.
of a couple of
Okay, here we go,
television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan.
Yeah, John
and we have a
Stewart.
few other lanterns
Oh,
peppered
okay.
in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are
I'm gonna
space
be honest,
cops
John Stewart's
watching
my boy.
over Precinct
Yeah?
Earth. In it,
Yeah.
they discover a
He was in the
terrifying
Justice
mystery
League one,
that
in
ties
the
into our
animation
larger
show.
story of
Okay.
the DCU. Next is a big movie.
So yeah, so like it's 2 instead
That
of. Does
sounds
that make
great.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was never a
There's-
big Green Lantern fan. Like I never
There's
read
been
into
2 at
them.
once. There's a bunch of Green Lanterns at once, and they're all humans. There's like a ginger one. I forget his name, but he's like the cocky one that everyone hates and talks crap
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
And then John Stewart. He's like the military, but like really like stern and like serious.
Yep.
And then Hal Jordan's the also military, but a little bit more, has the edge.
Okay.
Can be cocky at times.
So
Great
that's
willpower.
what is that your number 1 or is that going to be?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's amazing because like there's so much you can learn about Green Lantern, and there's so many other Green Lantern Corps, and there are different styles and emotions that go with the Green Lanterns
Yeah.
and Red Lanterns and Yellow like there's so much to
I
be
know all
done.
that stuff. Yeah.
And with good acting and good like visuals and a good story, it could be really interesting. It could be anything that a Marvel show come out with or DC, but like it's hard, right? We'll see.
That's what there's not a ton of information on it. You know what I mean? Like he didn't really give a ton of stuff, which I'm not surprised about at all. I didn't think he was going to, but it seems like a lot of these projects is kind of like still like we don't have any of the actors, right?
No.
I almost ruined something, but like we'll get into the big ones, I guess. Now, we got 2 more that I do, or 3 more I really want to talk about, which would be, do you know anything about the Authority?
No.
From what
Is that
he's,
the anime?
I don't even know. I really
It's
don't.
not the anime?
I know nothing about Authority. I've never even heard of it before. Is it just me or am I crazy?
It must be the anime, no? The Authority?
Authority. This
Called
one?
The
If it's-
Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU and will interact with
these are.
all of our primary DCU characters. The
I
Authority
don't know
are
any
a
of
group
these
of
characters.
superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think
See, I
it's
think
a very
James Gunn
different
could
look
write this.
at superheroes. We're doing a television series called
That sounds
Paradise
cool.
Lost. Paradise
So we already did that. But do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't heard that. That's going to be an interesting one to get into. I'm going to do some research on it after. But yeah, we'll just move on from that quickly. I don't want
Just
to be...
like it's really different. Like all his ideas and the stories that kind of seem like they're doing. It doesn't sound
with
basic.
the randoms. He always does
Yeah.
well with them. You know what I mean? He takes characters that no one could possibly give a shit about, and he makes them really, really good. Like I still say Suicide Squad. The second one was amazing.
I loved it.
I thought it was excellent. And I know in a sense, if you're to look at it realistically through the lens of actually like reviewing a movie, it's not amazing. But like I just enjoyed it that much. And also it was in a time where Marvel was like sinking. You know what I mean? Like it was like, okay, we've already had a few losses. So when Suicide Squad came, I thought like this is a good kind of like resurgence of a superhero movie. It wasn't
yeah, it
great.
made you feel good again.
Right? It was like, I would give it like a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed myself watching it, but I wouldn't say it was anything crazy. Anyways, no, I just wanted to talk about it because he does. He takes characters that no one cares, no one knows, and he makes them into something. Like I didn't know Guardians of the Galaxies when it came out. I had no idea what that was.
It's
right?
one of the biggest things now.
It's their only thing now. That's all they have. All right.
It's about the end.
Anyways, we'll get into Superman quickly because there's really not a lot to kind of say about
I'm
it.
excited. I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah,
I
because
figured you would be.
they never do much with him, and I think James Gunn will really like dive deep into like
He's
the
writing
one
it,
like
eh?
Superman's. Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but like Superman is a lot of people, oh, he's boring, he's so like straight edge, but like if you really get in the comics and you read up on him,
Mm.
he can be really interesting, and his powers, when they really get into his powers a lot more and really talk like about how strong he actually is, it can get crazy. But I think James Gunn like is gonna really focus on trying to make Superman a likable person, like how
Yeah.
first you watch the first Captain America movie, you're like, what that's kind of lame, but then you watch Winter Soldier, and I think everyone was like, "This guy's a badass."
That's what
And
top
I
Marvel
think they,
movies.
yeah, and they're like, and it's hard. It's kind of harder to do that with Superman because he's a godlike power, but the struggle is him trying to live on this earth and be this hero and learn not to hurt people and live with this
Yeah.
power. So it'd be really cool to see them really focus on that and then also make him, and not just the power, but make him a likable guy. And I think James Gunn can do that. And to see a young Superman will be pretty interesting.
I want a young gay Superman
I don't
that
want that.
questions his sexuality.
That's his struggle, not Lex Luthor. It's him.
I'm waiting for something because I like all these
Oh.
series sound great. What?
Little fact,
Mm.
I heard that, I saw that in the comics. It's really bad, but there's like, I think, pink kryptonite or something, and when when
What?
Batman gets near it, it makes him gay, and he starts flirting with Jimmy Olsen. Seriously, like it's like, I think it's like
When
one
the fuck
comment.
did
If you
you
look
read
it up,
that? What the fuck were you
it was like a video, like a short I was watching. They're like, did you know there's like back then, and I don't even think it was that old. It was like 2002 or something, and it's like Superman like runs into, and what's the guy who takes pictures? Jimmy Olsen, right?
Yeah.
So, so instead of Lois Lane, when he uh he gets the pink kryptonite, he's, hey Jimmy, like he's getting all flirty and all fruity, and it's just like, oh my god, you can't do that.
I've never
Because
heard
of
of
course,
something like
a man definitely wrote that.
that. I've never
And it's
heard
gonna
that
be
before.
pink. It makes him gay.
Sits on the kryptonite by accident.
I didn't either when I heard that. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, anyway, sorry.
I don't even know what to say to that. It doesn't surprise me. Nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised anything like that would be. I think
Yeah.
that'd be like the one thing I'm worried about is you have 10 projects here. Do you not think one is gonna be taken over by something like that?
I just mean, like, don't make that the focus. You can like have your little Easter eggs, and then once we know the character,
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, okay, he's been doing this for a while. Do you guys want to see what his love life is like? I don't need you to show me like any type of like intense sexual stuff at the start. I want to see a relationship grow.
Oh,
But like,
theory. Here we
Oh.
go. They're gonna do Superman first, and then he turns into Superwoman or Supergirl.
nah, his genes are too strong. You can't manipulate them.
Okay, we'll move on to Supergirl, okay? Which is the second movie after Superman. So do you know anything about this character? I don't know anything about Supergirl, I'm gonna be honest.
Supergirl?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Superman's cousin.
No, I get all that stuff. Do you know anything other than that? Like what there could possibly go into, like what her villains are, anything? Because I don't. I never watched the show. I know,
You know
I
what's
didn't
funny?
know if you
I'm
did.
I don't know if this is like completely accurate, but there was a story. There was one point where I saw it like this, but apparently Supergirl got sent to Earth first, like at that age that she was older, but she got like sent the wrong direction, and then Superman got sent as a child, and then like
Oh.
as he was grown, then she finally shows up. And she's like, "Oh, what the hell? You're my cousin." Blah blah blah.
So
that
you had
type
a
of
good
thing.
life and I was fucking out in space.
Yeah, I was there for years. What
Loser.
the hell? You're a grown man now. But I don't. Their relationship's really interesting.
Yeah.
Like, cause he starts showing her the ropes of Earth and everything. But like her by herself, she's a dope character. She's just like almost as strong as him. She's kind of weaker because she's a woman. But yeah, I'm kidding. I'm pretty sure like there's parts where they say she's stronger, but for the most part, she's always like less
And
weaker.
this is
But
the
he's
end.
got
And
the
this is
experience.
the end of our
and he's-
channel right here and now.
Yeah, he's one of the best heroes. So I don't know. It's Superman. Come on.
She
And
also
you're
ma-
Supergirl, not Superwoman.
she also
Grow
makes
up.
30 cents on our dollar, so or 70 cents
But I
on
didn't
our
hear.
dollar.
What did James Gunn say he was doing? Did he say what he was doing with her?
Not really. He just said it was gonna be. Well, if you want, I can bring it up quickly. I just don't want to.
There's a really good animated movie with Superman and Supergirl with Doomsday in it, and it's It's crazy. It's pretty cool.
Here.
Now, Woman
get
of
into
Tomorrow.
this.
And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now,
She gets a film.
Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents. Whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way. So she's a
Alright.
much
She's
more
gonna be
jaded
gritty.
character. And that brings me
Oh,
to
they're making
Swamp
her
Thing,
darker.
the last thing we're going to talk about.
So
is very
obviously-
That's a
dark.
cool. That sounds like a cool story, though.
It does. I want to see a gritty version of that, right? Like I'd like to see more like a hardened version of Superman. Does that make sense?
What's the Marvel version of Swamp Thing?
that would
it's
be
Man-Thing?
Dude, why are you doing this to me right now?
Isn't it Man Thing? I'm pretty sure that's all the only difference.
Isn't it? It's Man Thing, right? The
Yeah.
one that we saw with Werewolf by Night. It's Man Thing.
Yeah, I'm saying if they make it like that and they put in the effort they did with like that, like little forget what they called that, but this could be really cool.
Now look at all the news. It's completely taken over by. Yeah, it's Man Thing. So obviously,
Yeah.
because remember, like there is a lot of characters that are similar from DC and from Marvel, obviously. But this is the one that I think I'm most excited for. There's one more that I'm really excited for, but this is like, I don't know what it was. This presentation to me, I was like, yeah, I've already seen Superman. Yeah, I know what Supergirl is and all this stuff. I'm like, and after watching Werewolf by Night, I've been waiting for more stuff like this. And I would
Did you
like to
talk about it much?
No, not really. Just kind of goes through it. He's gonna 10 seconds of who it is.
I don't know much about him. I just know that they
Did you
were
ever watch
they were
the
making a
TV show?
No, because I was going to, because people are like, it's actually really good, but then it got canceled, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the point now? So
It was okay.
I don't know.
I would say
You
it was
like-
anything
you watched
great.
it?
Yeah, it wasn't anything great. Like I remember when it came out because it's like horror. It's like something in the horror genre from DC. Now it's Marvel's doing stuff like that too. But it's like I think they should go into it. But like I said with Werewolf by Night, I don't really want it coming together. Does that make sense? I
No,
don't
it's-
want. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel right. Do you know what I mean? And I want it to be scary. I don't want it to be this thing where it's like don't get me wrong. I liked Werewolf by Night, but I want it to actually be scary. I don't want it to be this thing where it's kind of like
Really hard.
it is, but it isn't all at the same time.
No, I mean like just with the superhero stuff, they're always
Oh, that,
trying to
yeah.
like mix it up, and because they're always scared to just go with one flow of things.
Yeah,
Like that's why the Batman felt so different when it came out, because the whole movie felt like its own world and someone's like one person's like, like thought.
Mhm.
Where Marvel, they're always trying to like, oh, next movie this movie that, this character that, and they're always trying to shove in so many different like flavors and comes off forced. If they just focus on horror, it could be really cool.
I'm telling you.
And
that-
DC's got a lot of great, terrifying characters, honestly.
Well, we'll go from here. We'll go to the Creature Commandos, which I know once again nothing about, but it's also like it's the same kind of arena. You know what I mean? Like you remember I think we went through this when Werewolf by Night came out. Like they're bringing in, or they can bring in certain characters that we like known forever, but they're kind of like named differently. Like technically it's like Frankenstein, but it's not really Frankenstein. You know what I mean? Like they kind of
Yeah.
switch it around. So Creature Commandos, I'm gonna see if I can pull up his video talking about that, because I thought this is the ones that interested me the most. Like I don't know
Is it
why.
the anime?
I don't know which one is it, because like this is the one where he says that they could make animated shows, right? They can make animated shows,
With
but
the
then
same actors?
and make it live action at one point for certain
Yeah.
movies and stuff like that with the same voice actors.
Part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project
See
is
this.
Creature Commandos. Creature
That's cool.
Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different
So he's
at
already written
DC
it.
is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor
that's
play their
sick.
voice as who plays them in live action. The next project
That's all he says. He doesn't really say much about this TV show at all. He doesn't say a lot about most
They're
things.
really trying to keep everything connected then. If like really connected. If they're making like animated voice actors, they're like, then they're gonna be, if they become in live action, then that's
Yeah.
the same person we're gonna use. That's pretty wild.
I don't think it's going to be one of those things, though, where it's like, let's do a bunch of films, come together, do the Justice League. I think everything is starting right off is going to be connected. I don't think they're going to
Yeah.
take their time with this. I know it's 10 years they have, but I have a funny feeling this is not going to be like Marvel where they did all their movies first, Avengers.
It won't feel like as good either. Like I
No.
don't want to see that again. I don't want to see, even if Marvel did it again. I don't want to see one character at a time. You're slowly hinting it, and then they come together. Honestly, you can write it just like this is the world. Oh, there's this character. Now we're meeting this character. You just have to write it well, but it is possible.
I want to see these characters that we know from horror movies and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of ways and avenues. Obviously, I don't know any of the stories personally. I don't know where they go, who the villains are, anything like that. But I really like this way that they're going about it. And if both Marvel and DC can go and do this, I think it could be a really big win. Also, like from Marvel's standpoint, not to get too much into them, but it's like there are avenues where you could start bringing in like Ghost Rider and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be cool.
So there's other avenues. Okay, we got one more that I want to discuss before we move on to our Patreon section. We saved the best for last. The Brave and the Bold. Now
I'm excited, but I'm also like,
yeah. So like last night, this is the one that me and Trevor were talking about last night to each other before we came on. We didn't talk too much about it, but what do you think about everything?
Well, I'm conflicted because I love the Batman movie, which is now considered Elseworlds, right?
Yes.
And they're gonna continue with that. And right now in my head, he's my Batman. Like great. I want to see more. He's young. He's Detective Batman. He's gritty.
We enjoy that movie.
Yeah. So now you're trying to make the real DCU, and you're gonna have a new younger Batman, and it's gonna focus more on Damian Wayne, which is his kid, and you're gonna see more of that struggle. And then I think Batman's already established, and he made it seem like there's other Batman characters already out in the world, which means Dick Grayson is possibly already Nightwing out there. And then what I'm upset about is we haven't truly seen a proper good like Batman and Robin movie, especially from start at this day and age. Shut up. I mean, like with an actual kid, like an actual Robin with the OG Dick Grayson, like little Robin. You see Dark Batman having this little child who's a little bit like who can't be like how Batman is, because like yeah, his life was rough, but like he can't get to that dark space like Batman. And you see that struggle, and then eventually Dick Grayson kind of wants to quit and become his own thing, and then he becomes Nightwing. I really thought they would like focus on the OG and then go from there, but they're starting off with Damian, the biggest little shit. Like, don't get me wrong, he's really good at fighting. He's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of those characters now, because they've been doing it so much where they're just cocky all the time. They just like constantly annoying. I like likable characters. It just makes me connect more. But I guess it could be a cool dynamic to see Batman struggle with that. But I don't know.
I like Damian because of his shit where he is a little shit. Like I like the fact that they don't get along and Batman has to kind of control him in a sense of like he's out of control.
I hope Dick Grayson's a part of it then, and he kind of like teaches Damian how to be the proper Robin and
cameo or something in there,
and kind of like his uncle, and like yeah, because like that's what it's like in the comics and like in animated movies. Like Nightwing's always like trying to teach him a lesson, and Damian's a little shit, like always trying to like act like he's better. It's like, bro, he's the OG, show some respect. So that's why I'm upset.
Yeah,
and it's just weird to have two Batman movies.
Well, technically three with the Joker, if you want to.
But I think, yeah, well, no, they're never going to show the actual Batman and Joker movie.
No, I don't think so either.
So, but like, but then it's like, I should be positive. I'm a Batman fan. I'm getting two different version Batmans. As long as they're done well, then that's sick. It's just weird. I'm like conflicted. I'm like, which one do I connect with more? But I'm for it. I'm just upset that we chose that Robin first.
By the way, it's Batman and Robin, not Batman Forever. So before we get shit on in the comments, I had to switch that up. Before we leave, what else do you got? What do you think as a grand scheme of everything? What are you thinking right now?
I'm not like overall. I'm optimistic and I'm really excited, just because like, yeah, everyone's freaking out. They canceled this, they canceled that. They're doing this new, but like, if something's not working, you can't just like make little tweaks. You have to start from scratch, and you have to have a whole new plan. So I'm excited that they're taking it serious, but I just hope it doesn't fall into the same traps it did before. But I have good high hopes for James Gunn.
I do too. I really think that Like I'm kind of excited for the like different reasons. I don't know why. Like for example, like I think that I don't have that much excitement for Paradise Lost. I don't have that much excitement for Superman Legacy. I don't have much excitement for Batman and whatever, like Brave and the Bold. I don't have a lot of excitement other than for the ones that like I haven't seen before. You know what I mean?
I think when the trailers start coming out, I think it's gonna like be a huge difference.
I
Well,
hope
it's
so.
either gonna be like, oh what, but I really think the response and with how they're taking, I think it's gonna be like, oh my god,
Yeah.
are we getting excited again? But we're still gonna be terrified because we're gonna
We
be
don't
like,
trust it.
we lost our trust in
Yeah.
movies and shows like a while ago. So
I think my favorite two things I'm ready for, like I'm excited for, is Swamp Thing and Creature Commandos. I don't know why I'm in this hype mood for fucking.
you probably just because it's so different and it's
out
not
there.
like the basic like and literally have no idea what's gonna happen.
And
which
Green
is
Lantern though. Green Lantern too. I'm excited for. Like Green Lantern, it's like
they can make it really cool, man. I'm telling you, it could be really dope.
yeah, that's what I mean. And like it'd be hard to lose against Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, so that'd be an interesting one if they were to lose against that. Just saying.
Even Ryan Reynolds makes fun of it in his
Yeah.
other movies playing a Marvel character.
Right? Like it's that bad. So I highly doubt it'll be quite as bad. But anyways, best of luck to James Gunn, and hopefully he brings us some good movies and TV shows. But we're going to move on to our Patreon section of our discussion. But before we go, if you want to drop a like, subscribe down below, we greatly appreciate it. Bringing you discussion once a week. We also got Discord, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon links down below. And until next time, guys, see you later.
See you guys.
And patrons, we will see you in a minute.
Smell you later.